Yes, students, today is the first class in Standard 6. You are newcomers, so first of all, congratulate. Then I will start food chapter. Introduction. What is food? Do you know? Every children take food. But what is food and why you take food? Anything that you take in is called food. And why you take food? Food is required for our growth, good health, maintenance, and development. Without food, we cannot do any work like play, read, run, etc. Food contains several kinds of substances or constituents. Each one is important for some function or the other. These, these food constituents which are needed by us for our growth and development are called nutrients. There are five essential nutrients which are carbohydrates, proteins, fat, vitamins, and minerals. Water, water is not a nutrient on the basis of function, but due to their vital function in our body, it is also placed as a nutrient because we know that without water we cannot digest anything. That is why actually water is not a nutrient but placed as a nutrient. Then classification of food. On the basis of their function, food are classified into three types: energy giving food, body building food, and protective food. Energy giving food, carbohydrates and fats which produce energy in our body, body building food, proteins which are required for growth and repair of the body, protective food, vitamins and minerals which help to perform necessary activity of life and fight against diseases. Carbohydrate. Carbohydrates such as starch, sugar, glucose, sucrose, etc. present in the food are the chief source of energy. Carbohydrate made by carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Sources of carbohydrate. Carbohydrates are often mainly from plant sources like rice, potato, etc. Then how you test it? The method which are applied is called iodine test. Take a slice of bread and a potato. Place a drop of iodine solution on each. On application of iodine solution, both bread and potato become blue-black in color. This indicates that bread and potato contain starch. Second, fats. Fats contain less oxygen as compared to carbohydrate. Then we remember composition of carbohydrate. Carbohydrates made by carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Fats also made by carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. But in fat, the number of atoms, the less oxygen in fat. Fat are also known as lipid. They contain carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Fats produce more energy as compared to carbohydrate. Sources. We often fat from both animal and plants. You remember carbohydrate generally obtained by plants only. The animal source of fat are milk, butter, ghee, meat, while the plant sources of fat are nut, seeds of mustard, sunflower, etc. Fats are the richest source of energy. Fats yield almost double the amount of calories as compared to carbohydrates. Test for fat. Take a small amount of butter or a drop of oil, rub the butter or put a drop of oil on a paper. Let the paper dry. Hold it in front of light source. A translucent spot appear on the paper through which light can pass. This indicates that butter oil contain fats. Proteins. Proteins are the most important components of food. It helps in bodybuilding. Sources of protein. Protein can be obtained from both plants as well as animals. Plant sources of proteins are nut, beans, pulses, etc. The animal sources of proteins are fish, egg, milk, cheese, etc. Then test of proteins. Take the egg white in test tube, add dilute nitric acid, warm it gently till a yellow color appears. Cool and decant the acid from the tube carefully. Add a few drops of ammonium hydroxide into it and note the change in the color. A bright orange color appears. This indicates that the egg white contains proteins.